Entrepreneurs and business owners, what is the number one thing that keeps you from accomplishing your dreams, painting your visions into reality, and frankly, just making things work? I'll give you a second. But I'll tell you, it's money, right? We lack the money. We lack the capital. And getting venture capital can be a very difficult process. Today on the AI Power 20, I'm going to give you an insight into a very powerful way to fund your business without giving away the farm. So stay tuned. Hey, thanks for joining me on today's AI Power 20. I was supposed to do something about going viral on X or helping you get new leads on LinkedIn, but instead, I'm going to show you something that I think that you need to be able to do to make all of that more easy. Help you get money. It's a big deal and I'm passionate about it. But before I get started, I want to remind you to be sure that you hit subscribe, that you hit like, and that you leave me a comment or any questions that you have during this process. Every week, I help you understand how to not just launch your business, but now I'm going to help you understand how to fund your business. In my career, I've raised over $15 million for my businesses. And my businesses that I have helped launch and the businesses I've helped launch for my clients have now gone on to do over $1 billion. It's I guess kind of mind-boggling when you think about it. Over $1 billion. And it's actually now starting to approach almost $2 billion. And I want to help you understand that without capital, it can be very difficult. But here's another secret for you. Getting the wrong money is one of the worst things that you can do. Giving up too much of your business is another terrible thing that you can do. In fact, getting the wrong venture capital partner is worse than having a bad boss. So I want to give you some secrets to help you understand the money that's out there and a way to take the lid off your thinking so you can get more money to fund your business. And frankly, there's a lot of money available out there if you know where to look and how to go about it. So let me share my screen with you, and I'm going to share a couple things with you. Right here on my screen, it has the US versus the European Union unicorns. That's a tough one to say. And this is from December of 2024. As you can see, the United States is clobbering the European Union. And this is with the unicorns. These are big companies out here, all the way from SpaceX, which is enormous, to some of these other just all kinds of different businesses in between. We're talking a $2.4 trillion total valuation versus $338 billion in total valuation. It's not even close because whatever reason why you want to put it in there, what it comes down to is that funding within the United States is more available within the venture capital realm. But now let's go to the next one right here. Public from scratch. So this is companies that start from scratch and become public in less than 50 years with a $10 billion market cap. It doesn't matter if you know all of what that means, but the fact is the United States is doing even more, $29.5 trillion versus just a $500 billion with 14 companies. It's not even close when it comes down to just how much bigger the United States companies are versus the European Union. So you may say, well, Jeff, what's your point? I want to show you something here. The government spending in the European Union is almost as much as it is the United States. And what a lot of American companies and South American companies and even European countries don't understand is that it doesn't matter where you're from, there's European grants that are available for you. So you may be saying, so Jeff, why are you showing me these graphs? Well, what's important for you to understand is there's money in a lot of different places, but Europe is obviously falling behind in the tech game. They're falling behind, and not just tech, but also all kinds of different businesses. So some of these governments are putting money to be able to help get that technology, even if it's foreign born, to be able to come in so they can start to increase their slice of the world pie here. So it doesn't matter if it's tech, it doesn't matter if it's a unicorn, it doesn't matter what type of business it is. These European governments are wanting to grow, and in the process, they're making money available to be able to help them and their economies grow in the process. And what a lot of American companies and South American companies and even European countries don't understand is that it doesn't matter where you're from, there's European grants that are available for you. And to me, it's super exciting to be able to share some of this with you, because some of the times in the past when I've raised money, well, those venture capitalists just decided to take the business. And you can say, well, didn't you have a good contract, Jeff? Aren't you supposed to be pretty good at law? Well, sometimes he who has the gold makes the rules. And it doesn't matter how good those contracts are. So the great thing about grants is, one, there's money available. And I'm not just talking for crazy ideas. I'm talking for ideas that are just improving on existing products and making them better. In fact, far more grants are given to products that are just making products better. So I don't know if you've been around in your business and you're thinking, gosh, I could do this so much better if I had funding. Well, I want you to take the I guess the lid off your thinking, and I'm going to show you a prompt. And this week on the AI Power 20, I want to talk to you about how you can fund your grand idea. But more importantly than that, when you know you don't have to give up all of your business to do it, then you can come up with even bigger ideas and, frankly, bigger budgets. So if you go inside the templates, if you just click templates, this is typically what you'll see right here is all the different types. Now you can click the 7-day power launch bonuses right here, or you can just go to all, and you can do a search for transformative grant visioning for your small business. And I want you to know that there's grants that we're now helping people with, and we applied for one for our business rather than going the traditional venture capital route. And it takes some time and it takes some real effort to be able to get these. But the people that we're working with have an 80% success rate on the first application. And after you make corrections, when they send it back to you, if you're a part of that 20%, they have a 95% success rate. That to me is extremely exciting. So the first process in doing this, and like I say, I've talked a lot about how to get clients. I've talked a lot about how to go viral, a lot about how I've helped other businesses go viral, and those are all great. But I'll tell you what, there's just this nice feeling of being able to have some funds for your business, to be able to have this idea and to build it out in a big way. I'm going to make sure that I don't have any avatars selected, and I'm going to go down to templates down here, and I'm just going to go into this one right here, transformative grant visioning for small businesses. Now, I may change that name. I just made it right before we came on, and as I listened to it, it's like, man, I can make that better. All you got to do is hit generate, and once you hit generate, it's going to go through this process with you, question by question. It's acting as an entrepreneurial coach here to help you expand your vision. And that's really the problem a lot of times with getting a grant is you don't know how to make a grand vision. And one of the things that we do when we go through this process is it's called an innovation matrix. And this innovation matrix goes out and compares what you're wanting to do with other businesses, but it all starts with a big vision. And what this process is going to do is inspire you to have creativity and ambition to do groundbreaking ideas. And you can get substantial funding. And European grants in particular, I want you to understand they're out there, and we're so excited about them. We've started to help other companies go through this process. But we have a giant list of companies that our partners in Europe have been able to start help people get, and they have a huge track record of success. So we're super excited that they let us send some of our companies and some of our leads over there for them to be able to really help these companies succeed. But it doesn't matter if you're not in Europe, you can still get them. But as we embark on this, understand that they give grants for two reasons: for a unicorn product, which very rarely occurs, and improving on an existing product. And you think about it, there's almost no unicorns out there. Maybe OpenAI was, maybe Facebook. But the reality is companies like Apple all they did was continue to improve on what people already have. The iPhone was just an improvement of what's out there. Mac, for example, was just improving or stealing, inspired by other products and making them better, right? So to begin, it's just asking me what niche and expertise. So I'm just going to pretend that I hadn't gone through this process with Bimoto, and I'm going to say I like marketing and using AI. So something super basic. You don't have to do a lot. And anytime you go through this process, you can just say, I don't know, help me. So that's fantastic. AI has a wealth of opportunities. Now let's dig deeper. Who is your target market? And what are the problems they're facing? Well, sometimes you may not know that, but I'm just going to put B2B businesses, and they are bad at marketing and sales processes. All right, see what it says with this. And what's really nice about this is if you don't know, you could just ask it. But that's a significant pain point in the B2B space. Many businesses struggle with effective marketing and sales strategies, which opens the door for innovative solutions. What's the primary product or service you currently offer to these B2B businesses, and what transformative value does it deliver to your customers? Well, I'm going to pretend that I don't have Bimoto, and I'm just going to say, I don't have one, but I want to create one. What do you suggest? I don't know, make it think, right? And if you already know and you've got some ideas, put them in there. But anytime you don't know in this process, just tell it you don't know, and it's going to come up with some ideas. So AI-powered marketing automation tool. Hey, that sounds really good. Sales process optimization software, custom chatbot solutions, data-driven insights platform. I'm going to go with, say, I like, oh gosh, I don't know. Let's say I like them all, and we'll see what it says. But what's nice about this is, I may say, I don't know, I want some more ideas. So it's going to implement some of those. But since you're excited about it, let's take a moment to hone in on one or two concepts that you feel passionate about developing. What potential breakthroughs or feature enhancements do you dream of implementing in your product or service? If you like to bounce around some more ideas, it's like, all right, give me ideas. I'm just going to cop out completely and let it do all of the work. But I'll be honest, this is the similar process that I use to come up with some fantastic, huge visions of what I could do to get this grant. And like I say, these people we were working with have been super helpful, but you have to come with a big idea or else you don't even get accepted into their program. So AI-powered marketing automation, predictive analytics, personalization engine, and integration with popular platforms. That's really cool. By the way, that's what I put in my grant. Sales process optimization for software, automated sales coaching. That's cool. An AI feature could analyze call recordings and sales to provide feedback. Whoa, that is awesome. Sales funnel visualization, create AI-driven dashboards that visualize sales. Custom playbooks allow sales teams to build tailored playbooks. That is cool. Custom AI chatbot. I'm just going to assume that these are all as cool as they sound. Real-time market analysis. Look at this. Customer journey mapping and automated reporting tools. So I love this. Use them all. Well, those, like I say, as you go through these sparky new ideas, Bimoto's coming up with all of them. But just some of these things that we want to be able to add, we know how expensive it's going to be able to implement them. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through and start to help me understand all of what needs to be done. So it gives me a vision statement. Our AI-driven marketing and sales optimization platforms empowers B2B businesses by automating marketing processes, optimizing sales strategies, and delivering actionable insights through cutting-edge AI technology and enabling them to enhance efficiency, close deals faster, and achieve sustainable growth. How awesome would that be to be able to take all of those? And so even though we have some of these things already with Bimoto, just to be able to automate them and onboard them in a different way just is super exciting. So it's going to features to include predictive analytics, personalization engines, seamless integrations. This is something that we're working on, but be able to do it on a bigger scale. I mean, how cool would that be? Automated sales coaching. That'd be so cool to be able to provide real-time feedback to sales reps. Sales funnel visualization, customized playbooks, NLP, enabled chatbots, lead qualification algorithm, multi-channel support, real-time market analysis. I mean, this is cool stuff, but then you're like, all right, what would it cost? If I took current Bimoto to an investor, I would have to get a lot of stripes, a lot of getting beat up as they tell me, well, prove it. Can you do this? Can you do that? With grants, that's not necessarily what you have to do. You have to have the discipline to be able to really map this out, and it can take some months to do it. But how cool is it, the idea of being able to get this kind of funding that it's going to suggest here? To turn this vision into reality, we need to consider a few critical aspects: a development team, technical infrastructure, timeline, and a budget. So approximate budget outline: development team, 500 to 1.5 million, technology infrastructure, up to 250,000, research and development, 100 grand, and operational costs, $2.5 million. Total estimated range, $2.1 million. Of course, this is something that you'd want to build out step by step by step. Now, some of the companies that are going through this process are asking for up to $25 million. What I want you to understand is there's ways to fund your business, but you can't just slap together some basic plan. This can help you come up with some ideas and possibly be accepted into the program. But what you have to do is you have to think much, much bigger than you are right now. And then after that, we help people to be able to really get that information in a way that is enticing, to be able to take it to the team that we have there in Europe. And those guys have so much experience, and they have a list of all kinds of research grants, all kinds of different business grants that they've been able to help people get. I can tell you, you don't have to go through the process of just constantly thinking that you're going to have to give away your business to a venture capitalist. There's a reason why they call it Shark Tank. There's a reason why they call them sharks. They oftentimes can take your business. Well, with the grant, you have all kinds of possibilities to be able to fund it in a way that you didn't think is possible. Now, the grants that we work, they don't cover the marketing. The marketing can be a major expenditure. But if you get a multi-million-dollar grant, you know how much easier it is to be able to get venture capital money after that? With you have a guaranteed government grant, all of a sudden your business is significantly more valuable. And now you have the ability to use all these different tools that we have on Bimoto to be able to help you market your business in a safe and affordable way. Be sure you join me this week on the Bimoto AI Power 20. It's a special version of it. And I'm going to spend some time not just helping you improve your marketing, but let's help you understand how you can get your business funded. Help your business get funded without giving it away in the process. Be sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Every week I give you the tips and tricks that you need. And every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock Eastern, I go through with a question and answer. And I hope that people come with lots of questions. Yeah, I want to help you go viral. Yes, I want to be able to give you these tips to help that are constantly helping me get leads, and the different processes that I do to close high ticket, low ticket, and everything in between. But this is special when you understand what's available for your business right now. See you this week.